Have you ever wondered if you are part of something greater? But you wouldn't know Cooch until fate brings you closer. I am Adrienne Vale, and this is my story titled, The Hollow Chose Me. The road to Graves Hollow was nothing but mud, mist, and memory. I didn't expect the estate to be beautiful, just intact enough to restore. I'd been hired to assess its structure. What I didn't know was that I was walking into a mausoleum of secrets. When I crossed the threshold, the air was cold, not just in temperature, but in tension. Something about the walls felt aware, as if the house was taking stock of me, too. Seraphine met me with a limp handshake and hollow smile. "You're not what I expected," she said. I told her I was here for the job. She nodded once. "That's what they always say." I met Dorian Graves in a parlor dimmed by velvet drapes. He looked more waxed than man. His voice was sharp when he said, "Restore the bones, but leave the heart untouched." I didn't understand then. I would. Lucien Graves didn't shake my hand. He just smirked and said, "Another pretty fixer, HM?" I replied coolly, "Just here to keep your house from collapsing on your legacy." He liked that. Too much. The east wing was boarded shut. I noticed it on my first walk through the mansion. Seraphine caught me looking. "It's sealed for a reason." Her voice carried finality, but not explanation. In the main hallway, I found a cracked portrait, Elias Vale. The surname clawed at me. My birth certificate said unknown, but Vale? I'd seen it on adoption documents I wasn't meant to find. That night, the house creaked like it remembered sorrow. I heard footsteps, but no one was there. When I woke, there was dust on my blanket, as if someone had opened the attic door above my bed. August Stray found me in the old study. "There's something you should read," he said, handing me an envelope sealed in wax. It was addressed to E. Vale's heir. "I don't understand," I said. "You will," he replied. The letter was written in shaky ink. "If you are reading this, the line has bent, but not broken. Blood remembers what names forget. Return to the room behind the red door. There, the truth begins." The red door was hidden behind a false bookcase in the eastern wall. Dust sealed it shut like a tomb. I opened it. Behind, stone stairs led down. Air hissed upward, like breath, like warning. It wasn't a basement. It was a chapel, underground, candles long dead, a decayed cradle in the corner. I saw my initials carved in the wood, AV. "You shouldn't be down here," Lucian said behind me. I hadn't heard him come. "This place, it's off limits." He looked afraid, the first time I'd seen that crack in him. Above the altar was a family crest. I recognized it, not from books, from dreams. I used to draw it as a child without knowing why. When I placed my hand on the stone, it was warm. A whisper slid into my ear. My mother's voice. "You were never supposed to return, but it's time." Dorian confided in me one night, vodka bleeding into his veins. "Lucian isn't my true son," he spat. "The woman I loved gave me a daughter. She ran before I could bury the truth." My fingers froze around the glass. I found Dorian's razor in his chamber. I used it to cut my palm. I pressed it against the stone altar. It lit faintly red, alive, accepting. Graves' blood. Seraphine left a diary outside my door. No note. Inside were pages written by my mother. She wrote of fear, of being watched, of running into the woods when Lucian was just a baby, with me in her arms. I followed the path from the diary, into the trees, to a clearing with symbols carved into bark, and a figure waiting, hooded, still. "I knew you'd come," said Madame Corvina. She took a blade and pressed it to my finger. "Let blood drip onto the roots." "The Hollow chose you," she whispered. "You are the Lost Heir, not Lucien." Lucien cornered me in the armory. "You're not one of us," he hissed. "You don't belong." I met his gaze. "I belong more than you ever did." He raised a hand. I didn't flinch. That scared him. Dorian collapsed during dinner. Poison? Stroke? We didn't know. Lucien called the doctor. but he already wore mourning in his eyes. The solicitor arrived with documents written weeks before. To Adrian Vale, I leave Graves Hollow. To Lucien, my regrets. The room cracked open like thunder. Lucien burned his bedroom that night. Screams and smoke filled the west wing. He wasn't in it, but something else was. A mirror shattered, and something inside it didn't match his reflection. In the burnt debris, I found an intact mirror. It showed me as a child, running. My mother shouting my name. A man, Dorian, younger, grabbing her by the arm. She struck him. He bled. Seraphine wept in the chapel. Elias Vale was your father. Dorian murdered him. Her lips trembled. Lucien's father is someone worse. August showed me a hatch beneath the study. He'll come for you soon, he whispered. You need to see what they did to Elias. My stomach turned. The dungeon smelled of rust and rot. I found a skeletal hand still chained to the wall, a ring on its finger, the Vale crest. I stood over Dorian's unconscious body and whispered, I know what you did. His eyes fluttered open. I did it to protect you. You were meant to rule, not rot. Lucien offered me a deal. Marry me, keep the hollow, rule beside me, like we were born to. His voice was velvet, his eyes venom. I told him to rot. The library had a false panel. It led to a passage full of paintings, unfinished, unframed. Every one of me, as a baby, a child, a woman, years I never knew. Lucien crept into my room at midnight, shirtless, smirking. You feel it too, don't you? That pull? I slapped him. Hard. He didn't flinch. He smiled. We're more alike than you think. I dreamt in the chapel that night, of blood in the river, of a baby screaming, of a crown buried in dirt. When I woke, the stone altar had cracked. The estate changed. Hallways longer, doors where none were. The house was alive, reacting to me. August kissed me beneath the staircase. It wasn't soft, it was desperate. He pulled away too quickly, eyes wide. They'll see. They always see. Behind Lucien's study was a gallery of Vale women, paintings all destroyed except one. My mother, the only one untouched. Her eyes looked like mine. Lucien paced the halls naked one night, muttering spells in Latin. He clawed at the walls. She was promised to me. The Hollow said so. Corvina returned. She demanded my blood. To break Lucien's hold. To awaken your throne. I offered it willingly. The house groaned. Lights shattered. Doors opened. And from beneath the floor, something rose. I stood atop the chapel altar as stone roots encased my feet. You are the Hollow now, Corvina said. What you choose next decides everything. Lucien attacked August first, smashed his head into the stone basin in the chapel. She was mine, he screamed. Blood soaked the altar before I could stop him. August collapsed, alive but broken. As Lucien lunged for me, the walls trembled. The chandelier above snapped free. He jumped back just in time. The Hollow was defending me, or perhaps obeying. Corvina led me below the chapel, deeper than I thought Earth could go. At the bottom was a stone throne carved from root and bone. Sit, she whispered. Seal your inheritance. As I sat, a crown formed, not gold, but iron and thorn. It didn't rest on my head. It pierced it. I saw everything. My birth, my mother running, Elias dying, Dorian laughing, Lucien weeping over a cradle that wasn't his. From the throne, a voice entered my mind. My father's. You were born in fire. You are not the heir of this house. You are the house. I wept. What do I do now? Finish what I couldn't. August awoke in a panic. You weren't supposed to take the throne, he said, gripping my hand. You'll never be free of it. I told him I'd never been free to begin with. Seraphine cornered me before dawn. I switched the birth records, she confessed. Dorian wanted a boy. I told him you were stillborn. And Lucien? Brought here by a deal, from a mother we never saw again. I found the document in Dorian's study, written in Latin, sealed with blood. Lucien wasn't just adopted, he was bartered. The Hollow gave Dorian his heir, but demanded payment in return, my father's life. We chained him in the chapel. He laughed. You think you're queen now? This house loves me. I leaned down. No, it feeds on you. We buried the original throne, deep in the woods where my mother had first fled. Corvina said, You cannot rule what still remembers war. But I already felt it pulsing in my chest. A final envelope came addressed in Dorian's hand. Adrian, if you're reading this, I'm gone. I only ever feared you. You were meant to devour us, and now you will. He couldn't take it. I love you, he said, but I can't live inside something that lives back. I let him go. I didn't ask him to stay. Part of me already knew it would never leave. The house is quieter now. It listens more than it groans. I walk barefoot through its halls. Sometimes it whispers songs only I understand. I think it knows I forgive it, or maybe it just waits. One morning, she was gone. Her room, emptied, her clothes folded, but her rosary, snapped in half, left on the altar. Corvina said nothing, but I saw her smile. In the east wing, the mirror shows me a baby, my daughter, not yet born, but inevitable. A girl with black eyes and a scar over her chest. A man in a gray suit appeared at the door, said he worked for the crown. Your land has been claimed by the state, he said. I smiled. This land belongs to something older than your state. The village nearby is gone now, swallowed by forest. Trees moved on their own. They say the hollow is cursed, but it's not a curse, it's inheritance. My skin itches like bark. My dreams speak in root tongue. My breath fogs glass from the other side. I think I'm changing, but not dying, just becoming. Before he disappeared, Lucien said one thing. You may wear the crown, Adrian, but the hollow wears you. Maybe he was right. Maybe I was always the offering. There are no more rooms I haven't entered, no more secrets, just me, the house, and the truth. I was never lost. I was hidden. Because the hollow does not choose the air by blood. It chooses by hunger. And I was starving all along.